A 120-pound German Shepherd was surrendered to a shelter outside Charleston, South Carolina, when the soldier who raised him was deployed overseas and had no one to take him. His owner had wept at the counter, a service member shipping out with orders and no family able to keep a 120-pound dog, forced to give up the shepherd he had raised from a puppy. It was not abandonment, it was duty, but the dog did not know the difference. He knew only that his person had walked out the door and not come back, and he sat in a shelter outside Charleston, 120 pounds of confusion and loss. A big, serious shepherd that families found intimidating and passed by. Too big, too intense, too much dog. He sat there for 107 days, growing quieter, a magnificent animal watching family after family choose someone smaller and easier. Then a woman who lived alone with a condition that could kill her in minutes took him home, and 8 months later, that dog did something in the space of a single emergency that is the only reason she is alive. Rex was a German Shepherd in his prime, 120 pounds of black and tan, a long, noble muzzle, tall ears, and the intense, watchful intelligence the breed is famous for. He had been raised and loved and trained by a young soldier, and he was, by any measure, a wonderful dog, obedient and devoted and sharp. But when his owner received deployment orders and searched desperately for someone to take him, there was no one, and so Rex went to the shelter. And there, the very qualities that made him magnificent worked against him, because families looking for an easy pet saw 120 pounds of powerful, serious German Shepherd and decided he was more than they wanted to handle. Day after day, a dog who had done everything right, who had been nothing but good, sat in a concrete kennel and watched the world decide he was too much. He was 4 years old, in perfect health, fully trained, and still, for 107 days, not one family was willing to take on 120 pounds of serious shepherd. Hannah Brennan was 33 and lived alone, and she carried a particular kind of danger that most people never think about. She had a severe, life-threatening allergy, the anaphylactic kind, where a single bee sting could close her throat in minutes. She carried an epinephrine auto-injector everywhere and was careful, but she lived alone, and she knew the specific terror of her situation, that if she were ever stung and something went wrong, there might be no one there to help her through the few critical minutes when help was everything. She had organized her whole life around a danger she could not entirely control, and the thing she feared most was facing it alone. I still see you haven't subscribed. Rex was given up when his soldiers shipped out and passed over for 107 days, and in a minute you'll see what that dog was worth. Tap subscribe first. She had not gone to the shelter for a guard dog. She had gone because she was lonely, because a house you live in alone with a dangerous condition is a quiet and sometimes frightening place, and she wanted the company of a dog. She was looking at the calmer, smaller dogs when a volunteer mentioned the German Shepherd who had been surrendered when his soldier deployed, the big, beautiful, serious dog nobody wanted. Hannah asked to meet him, and when they brought the 120-pound shepherd into the room, he walked to her with a calm, grave dignity, sat down in front of her, and looked at her with those deep, intelligent eyes, and rested his chin on her knee, as if he had chosen her. Hannah, who knew about being alone with something frightening, felt her heart open. She adopted the dog nobody wanted that afternoon. His name was Rex. Rex moved into Hannah's quiet house and transformed it. Rex was 120 pounds of calm, watchful, devoted presence, and the loneliness that had pressed on her simply lifted. Rex followed her from room to room. He lay at her feet while she worked. Rex slept beside her bed, a steady, warm presence in the dark, and for the first time in years, the house did not feel empty or frightening. She had wanted company, and she had gotten far more, because Rex bonded to her with the complete devotion of a dog who had lost his person and been given, at last, a new one to love. He was hers entirely, and he watched over her with an attentive, constant focus that she found comforting long before she understood it would one day save her life. And Rex, with the intense intelligence of his breed, had made himself extraordinarily aware of Hannah, attuned to her every movement and mood, always watching, always near, the way a deeply bonded dog becomes tuned to the one person who is his whole world. Hannah thought of it as the sweet, serious devotion of a rescued shepherd. She did not yet understand that this constant watchfulness, this dog who never took his attention off her, was exactly the thing a woman living alone with a deadly allergy had always needed and never had. A presence that would know instantly if something went catastrophically wrong. If you have ever been watched over by something that decided you were its entire reason for being, you already know what this felt like. The months passed, and Hannah's careful, solitary life became fuller and less afraid, built around a devoted dog who adored her. The specific fear she had always carried of a crisis alone with no one there had eased because the house was no longer empty, and there was 120 pounds of Rex always nearby, always watching. She felt safer than she had in years. And then, on a warm afternoon in late spring, the exact danger she had organized her life around finally struck, and the dog nobody had wanted did the thing that saved her. She was in her backyard, working in the small garden she kept, when it happened. A bee, unseen in the flowers, stung her on the hand, and Hannah, who knew exactly what that meant, went for the auto-injector she always carried. But the reaction was fast and severe, faster than she expected, and as she fumbled to use the epinephrine, her throat was already tightening, her airway starting to close, her body plunging toward the anaphylactic shock that could take her life in minutes. She managed to use the injector, but a severe reaction can need more than one dose and always needs emergency care fast. And she was in her backyard, alone, her phone inside the house, her body failing, unable to call out, sinking toward collapse in the grass where no one would see her. And Rex did the thing that saved her. Rex had been watching her through the back door, as he always did, and the instant Hannah went down in the garden, he knew, with the sharp instinct of his breed, that his person was in mortal trouble. Rex began to bark, huge and frantic and relentless, all 120 pounds of him, a shepherd's piercing alarm filling the yard and carrying over the fences. And when barking was not enough, Rex did more. He tore to the side gate and threw himself against it, barking without stopping, until a neighbor one house over, alarmed by the frantic, desperate sound, came to look over the fence and saw Hannah collapsed in her garden and understood at once that something was terribly wrong. The neighbor called 911 and got to her, and the paramedics arrived in under 8 minutes because the alarm had gone up the instant she collapsed, and they gave her the emergency epinephrine and care that severe anaphylaxis demands, the fast treatment that is the difference between life and death. And she survived because help reached her in the only minutes that mattered, and help had reached her because a 120-pound dog had refused to let his person die alone and unseen in a garden. The doctors told her afterward what she had always known was the danger, that severe anaphylaxis moves in minutes, that a person alone and collapsed and unable to call for help can die before anyone finds them, and that the dog who raised the alarm the instant she fell had bought her the minutes that saved her life. The same 120-pound German Shepherd that families walked past for 107 days. The same dog surrendered when his soldiers shipped out, passed over for being too big and too intense. The one nobody wanted. The same serious, watchful dog a shelter could not place for over 3 months. He was not too much, and he was not too intense. He had been given up through no fault of his own and rejected by everyone else for being a large, serious dog, and the first person who chose him got a guardian so attuned to her that he knew the instant her body began to fail, and who raised an alarm that brought help in the only window that could save her. He had been called too much dog to take on. He was the reason she lived. Hannah told their story, and it spread far past Charleston because so many people living alone with dangerous conditions understood exactly the fear it spoke to and the miracle of how it ended. The shelter was flooded with people asking about the big, serious dogs, the surrendered ones, the ones passed over for being too much. 8 dogs that had waited too long for homes, some over 100 days, found them in the 3 weeks after it spread. Today, Hannah is well and no longer lives in fear of facing her danger alone, because a devoted shepherd is always nearby, watching. Rex is older now, a little gray in his muzzle, but still exactly where he has always been, a step from the woman he chose. Rex still sleeps beside her bed. He still follows her everywhere. And every single day, a 120-pound German Shepherd still keeps his constant, devoted watch over the woman who chose a chance on the dog nobody wanted, still guards her through every ordinary hour and every dangerous one. Because as far as Rex is concerned, watching over the one person who chose him when no one else would is the whole reason he was saved. We look at a big, powerful, serious dog and decide he is too much, too intense, too intimidating to take on, and we walk past. We never once ask whether the animal we find too much might be exactly enough, whether that watchfulness might be the very thing that saves a life, whether the dog nobody wanted might be the one who refuses to let you face the worst alone. Sometimes the dog the world called too much is precisely as much as it takes to save you. So tell me, was Rex too much, or did the dog nobody wanted turn out to be the reason one woman survived? Drop your answer in the comments. And if a dog ever saved someone you love, say his name below.